Hey guys, good morning, at least this morning for me. This is day number 26, Testimonial, which I'm actually on day number 27. So I'm doing my testimonial for last night, today, which is an indication of how yesterday went. And also the fact that I am still in the bed. And I'm still in the clothes that I was in from yesterday. And before you go, oh my gosh, you fell asleep in the clothes you were in, don't come for me. Many of us have had days like this. Yesterday was yucky. More so, emotionally and mentally. For me yesterday, I had a situation, and I'm being vague, not intentionally because I don't want to talk about it or because I don't want people to know about it. My life is an open book. If you go to my channel, you see so many different playlists. And so that's why I'm being vague, is because this playlist, I have to remind myself, or this video, this testimonial, is for health and wellness. And so I don't want to stray from that, which, what I'm going through, I'm chronicling more so my physical and internal health, but I guess I should not be reluctant to share the mental health side of it either, because that still all falls into health, and that still plays a vital role in how I got to this place and what I'm doing and my why. And so yesterday was just the mental health side of it. I have gone through a tremendous amount of trauma this year, as I talked about in my opening video, I believe. And one of those things is just trying to help my son out. Really, both my children, who are both young adults. Well, my daughter's an adult. She's about to be 24, 25, she's still figuring it out. You don't know until you're 30, really, your 20s. But my youngest, my son, is 19, and, so he's still the baby, so to speak, meaning he's still being groomed for adulthood. And, there's a lot of room for error, and there's a lot of grace in that. But I'm at a place where this time and this space is for me, for my mental health and wellness and healing, and physical health and wellness and healing. And I just do what I've always done, is I have a kind and giving heart, and trying to help and trying to, steer them on the right path, as a parent does and should, but also learning that there's boundaries to that. And when it impacts me, then I have to take a step back from that. And all of that is what really got me here. And yesterday, I've been trying to help my son with some things, and he really just, he's taken advantage of the situation, and I had to draw the line, and it just caused a rift, and it just totally triggered my whole day. It threw my whole day off. And it sucks, because I've been doing so well. And I woke up this morning and I'm good. This morning, I'm good. I feel good. Because when it happened yesterday, I just wanted to shut down. I wanted to climb back in the bed, pull the covers over my head. I cried all day yesterday. I mean, all day yesterday, because I realized that I'm just so tired of the cycle. I'm so tired of what has been going on, and I got nothing done. Now, I did, stick with all my health goals. I had all my supplements. I killed it with my water goals. I managed to have breakfast, lunch, dinner, and even a snack. So it didn't throw me off of what I'm doing with my Be Resilient program. What I was concerned with was the trauma triggers and how that was going to impact everything. But I'll tell you what, I guess, my body, not I guess, the difference here that I personally have found is I think that I handled it pretty well, all things considered, looking at how I used to handle things prior to this program and the supplements and implementing just more time with me. What happened yesterday probably would have triggered, a longer response time of me feeling depressed or upset or frustrated or angry, but I think I bounced back pretty good. I don't feel any sadness. I actually feel confident with my decision of just drawing the line and setting boundaries and going, no, this is what's going to happen. And, so I think all things considered, I did really well. I don't see anything wrong with the fact that I allowed myself to cry and feel what I feel, and I called a friend and talked to her about it, and I vented, and usually I think, again, I'm down for a few days, but anyway, so the one thing that I didn't get to was, yesterday was a wellness day, so that meant workout, and no, yesterday was not a wellness day. Nope, it wasn't. Yesterday was actually a work day. I was supposed to work on some real estate investments and things, and it shut me down. So I didn't get any work done. I did just kind of stare at the computer, and like I said, I just cried all day yesterday. So, but I'm human, and I'm going to give myself that. But I did pivot because one thing that I have learned, one thing that I have learned in my dealing with, I sleep with like 1 million pillows, y'all. I do. This is only half of them. I have to throw off of them. I wake up with some of them on the floor and some at the foot of the bed, and then I throw some over on the dresser. But I do wake up I sleep with a bunch of pillows. It's like my cuddle comfort zone. It just makes me feel surrounded, I guess. I don't know. But one of the things that I learned about myself, I've done therapy, mental health counseling in the past, and I've done therapy because I have learned, and I am an extreme advocate, that it is very okay to not be okay and to admit that and to go get help. And so I do that, and I'm an advocate for that. But when I first started going to therapy some years ago, when my therapist told me, Takia, you are suffering from extreme PTSD and severe depression, not just depression, severe depression. I'm just so different. I can't just be normal and just have PTSD and depression, extreme PTSD and severe depression. But, and she said, with everything you've gone through your life, why wouldn't you? And so she began to open my eyes and enlighten me. And honestly, it was the happiest day of my life, not because I was diagnosed with depression or PTSD, but because I had a name to why I felt the way I did and why I reacted and how my life was set up the way that it was. So with knowledge comes power. And so I learned to navigate those waters of, okay, this is why I'm feeling this way today. And I've now been equipped with tools to help counter that. And so I did that yesterday. And one of the things that I've learned to do when I feel myself sinking into depression, or there's a trigger or some sort of reminder, post-traumatic stress disorder of something that I've gone through, I've learned that if I try to push through and keep working on a project, like yesterday I said I wanted to work on real estate investments, and I just couldn't. And the more I tried to push through, I couldn't. And so finally, by the end of the day, I said, I looked at my little Pomeranian, my dog, and I said, let's go shopping. let's go shopping. There's a shelf up there in my kitchen that needs some vases, and there's empty spaces. So let's go shopping. And I'm a creative. So here's what I was doing. Two things that I was doing was, I'm a creative. So there's this space in my home. I love to decorate and design. And there's this space in my home that still has room to be updated or beautified. And so when I go to look for things to put together in my home, that's the creative side in me being fed. And so that triggers all these happy endorphins, and I feel productive. The other thing is shopping. I mean, come on now, girls. Shopping. I just made y'all happy saying that right now, right? So I went shopping, and, $100 later, I felt really good. And I had this project to work on and avert my attention. And so I do not sink into or succumb to those feelings. I get out and I find things. And sometimes it's not always shopping. Sometimes it's, go for a walk or, whatever. But I did that. And then I came back home, and then I still came back to the situation with my son because, he wasn't seeing things from my perspective. And it just was draining and exhausting. It mentally fatigues you. And I just literally threw on my bonnet and I just fell in the bed. I fell in the bed, and I didn't do my exercise yesterday. My body is sore like a mug. But I know that's good, and I know that I have to push through and keep going, so that's not. So I think I'm going to get up this morning, and first thing off my plate is to do this testimonial because I didn't do it last night. So this is day 26 testimonial, and I'm going to get up and do my exercises. And so I just wanted to be vulnerable and share that. Like I said, this is my wellness journey, and I'm doing this to talk about the Be Resilient program, as I am a part of the beta. But I think mental health is extremely important to talk about as well, because we are learning that in this program as well, about trauma and triggers and things like that. And so I am 100%, 250% an excellent candidate for this. And I want to share that, just my journey, because I even again, how I handled that, applying what I've learned. And I feel like being more physically fit and having supplements and having the right food in my body, all of that plays a vital role to how my body's response system. And like I said, I even honestly, even yesterday, before I started crying, I sat for a long time to try to find my emotions. Like, I knew I was frustrated, but I really had to sit and think about, do I want to cry? Do I want to be angry? Do I want to feel nothing? And honestly, for the longest time, I didn't feel numb. I just kind of felt blank about it. And I think that was really a healthy way to respond to it. But then I finally settled on, as I had time to think through the process clearly and process everything that was said and done and how I wanted to react, I settled on crying. And I cried because the truth of the matter is not about the situation with my son, not about even all the things that were potential triggers. It was just, I don't deserve to be in this situation, and I am not going to keep doing this. And really what made me cry, here's what made me cry. My setting the boundary made me cry. I settled on that I would not allow myself to be treated the way that I was anymore, when I know that my heart was in the right place to help. And I was crying over the consequences that I had to implement for my son. And it hurt me, because when you love it doesn't matter how old your children get, or it doesn't. You don't want to do anything that hurts them, but you know that you cannot enable them. And so my crying was because I knew that I had to serve justice to the situation. I have a really good friend of mine who shared with me, she said, Takia, we do not have the right to deny people the consequences of their actions. That's what I had to decide to do. And that is why I cried. Not because woe is me or he hurt me or this isn't fair. You know, I processed all of that. But my emotions were, I know that he's going to suffer some things in the consequences in my setting the boundaries. But here's the thing, boundaries can be good because see, I'm not going to enable my 19-year-old son. I am teaching him and grooming him to be a young adult and a respectful and responsible young man, and ultimately going on to being a respectable, responsible, godly husband and father. And so my tears were more, you know, about the consequences, but he has to, I can't deny him those. So I think that was very healthy. And so, you know, I'm smiling and I'm in a good place this morning, even though I had to process the emotions of it all last night. And I think that is so healthy. And that was like an epiphany moment I just shared with you guys. So I'm going to get up and start my day. Again, this is day number 26, Testimonial. Takia LaShawn. I'm out of here, guys. Until tonight.